Hello, hello. Okay, so today is my day off and I'm walking towards the beach. I tried to skate, but wow, my wheels are dirty. But there is this huge downhill and it's too narrow and too many cars, so I prefer walking instead. Anyway, I was thinking about something and I wanted to share the truth. I was thinking that yesterday before I went to work, I went to the beach, had a swim, and then I went to the park that is next to my job. And I was laying there and there were like men spraying shit on the grass and on the palms, and I was like, seriously? I can't even just stay there and sit. And then I was thinking that at work, where I work now, like I'm trying to change things to use natural products, but it's so crazy like how much shit I use for the cleaning. And we are exposed pretty much all day, because if you count that you usually work minimum 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, so you're constantly exposing to spraying shit, over cleaning, and chemicals that are really damaging your health. And I know that I made a previous video saying pretty much the same things, but I have an important note to this, because this, to me, it seems like so crazy what they do, and it doesn't make any sense, but it looks like it does make sense to everybody else, because everybody else is doing it without saying anything, and everybody is just conforming to this way of doing things, which is, to me, it's so clear that it's so wrong. And it's so I can't really understand why people think it's okay to do this kind of stuff, and why they think it's normal. What's normal about this? And so I'll explain to you. I go to work, and 8 hours I'm constantly exposed to this kind of chemicals, and there's like co-workers always cleaning shit and spraying stuff, cleaning this, cleaning that. And mind that all of these spraying micro things, you breathe it in, it's everywhere, it's gonna go everywhere, on the surface, on the fork, you're gonna eat with that fork, it's gonna go on the food. Then they clean the how is it called, the hot surface to cook stuff. I don't know, my English is getting a bit crazy because I'm speaking Spanish and Italian and English, and I'm mixing everything together. And I was saying that they clean the hot thing to cook, where you actually cook the food, where you put the food, with the cloth that has been in the bleach. So before we go home at night, we have to put all of the cloth and all of the Jesus Christ, what's the name? The sponges that we use to clean. Everything goes into bleach. And bleach, by the way, it's something that Monsanto created. And Monsanto is the same guy that created GMO and all of this stuff and all the chemicals, and is the same guy that created Agent Orange, which is the stuff that he sold to the American government to spray on the Vietnam War, to spray in Vietnam, and it has caused crazy malformations to children. There's actually an orphanage in Vietnam where all of those kids were left by their parents because they couldn't take care of them. All of those kids that has been affected, still today they are born with malformation and deformities and handicaps like crazy, like monsters. They are not kids, they are monsters created by this stuff and that Monsanto created. And I believe it's much deeper than you know, they want to make it. It's very smart, the few peoples that are in power on the world, the one that created money, what's his name, Rothschild, those people that are in power, Monsanto, they create all of this shit. And why? They create all of this stuff to disempower the human race, because we are powerful and there must be something. I don't know if they're aliens or what they are. I think to think something like that big, you must be another entity, and to want this kind of black, like, disaster, and I think it's black magic, to want the human race in such a sickness and slavery, and it must be another entity. But that's a very very deep argument, and that's a very deep talk. But I want to say this because this is the stuff that I think about every day, and it's why I want to change things. I'm very passionate about this, and I could talk about this shit every hour of my life, every single day, and my brain is constantly working to find solutions. So I was saying that they create this stuff because we are living beings. We are living beings. We are 99% made out of bacteria, parasites, all of that stuff. We are made out of living beings, and we constantly, an average day of a human, unless you live in the bush and you live in a natural way, but I'm talking about where I'm living now, where most of people lives, okay, where 99% people lives in the world. They go to work, they are constantly exposed to those chemicals. They're constantly exposed to pesticide, insecticide to kill the insects. That I like, the thing that it's most disturbing to me, it's not even the chemical, but it's the people that must be so unawake, you know, live a life that it's so unawake. Because how can you not understand that if a crazy spray, a shit chemicals is killing a cockroach or an ant, which are anyway so important for the ecosystem and everything, how can they not understand that stuff, it's bad for us as well? Like when you spray something for the ant and you spray it in your house, it's in your house, you're going around, you're breathing in that shit, and if it kills a living being, guess what, like you are a living being as well, and it's gonna kill you in one way or the other, or it's gonna do so much damage and harm to your body. And this is what frustrates me the most, that people are so unaware and brainwashed and just completely out of touch with their self, that they cannot understand that this kind of stuff, it's wrong. So I was saying that we clean the hot surface that we used to cook with the bleach and with chemicals and with acid, and you know what? when we cook the food, you are the customer that is gonna come to the restaurant and eat that stuff, and that stuff is gonna go into your body, into your gut. That's why people those days, they have so many gut problems, and everybody, celiac, gut issues, cancer, like people are so sick, overweight, because these kind of chemicals, apart from the food that we eat, especially the one that you buy in the supermarket, 90% of the food is all chemical, man-made, Monsanto-made shit to make you even more sicker and sicker and unawake and asleep and living like a robot. So that stuff is gonna go into your gut and it's gonna kill the bacteria, the good bacteria, and it's gonna weaken your immune system. And then you're gonna get sicker and sicker and sicker, and all of the energy, like, can you see this, or it's only me? Because for me, of course, it took a while, and I'm addicted to the truth, and I'm always looking for the truth and understanding things, but I don't know, sometimes I feel like I am the only one that is feeling this and it's saying this stuff, and people is like, oh yeah, but that's the way it is, that's life. No, that's not life. I don't want to have my kids growing in this kind of world. I want to change this shit. And if you don't say the things how they are, if you don't say the truth, if you're not doing anything to try to change this, it's never gonna change. So that kind of stuff is everywhere. From the food that you eat, is inside the food, the pesticide that they spray, like everything. And I also believe we are not, people, they get to 40, 50 years old and they're already old. Like, I don't believe in being young or being old. I believe in being alive and being dead. And most of the people, you just feel that you are getting sicker and sicker, and they brainwash you towards TV and media to believe that when you get to a certain age, you're old and you need care and you need this and you need like even sunscreen. Really, like the sun, do you really believe that we need to protect ourselves from the sun? How can you believe such a thing, that you need to protect yourself from the sun? The sun is the sun. They should invent actually a protection against the government, because those are the bad guys that makes the world go that way. And how can you believe that you need to protect yourself from the sun, that you need to spray lotions and shit to protect yourself from nature? And they make you believe that everything is danger. You need to protect yourself. They brainwash yourself through media to be scared of everything. And so at the end you end up living your life being scared of everything and protecting yourself of everything and locking yourself into your house and being away from nature. That is the answer and is the truth. And you lose complete contact with yourself. You lose connection with yourself, and your gut is your second brain. And that's why they say follow your instinct. Your instinct